Hi there, I'm Teresa Dufour. While CT Style is on hiatus, we continue to bring you CT Style Express. Today we focus on retirement and the importance of having a plan for long-term care. Here with some important information is President and CEO of Strategies for Retirement, Michael J. Lerholt. Nice to have you here, Michael.
Yes, thanks for having me back.
So tell me how you kind of adjusted throughout this pandemic with your company.
Well, you know, we do a lot of retirement planning, a lot of making sure people have income for the rest of their life. And during the coronavirus, one of the big issues that came up was a large portion of the deaths, unfortunately, were in nursing homes, which made us start to realize that, you know, we have to get some education out to clients and people that planning for long-term care is hugely important. And when I say planning for long-term care, it's planning to stay out of a nursing home and doing the things and having the tools so you can stay out of a nursing home.
So what would you say is the first step? I mean, you want to remain healthy, you have to make sure you have insurance,
Right.
that type of thing.
Right. So the first step is understand what long-term care is. You know, long-term care is help with day-to-day activities of living. Could be from accidents, could be from illnesses, but generally health insurance, Medicare, and things like that do not pay for it. So that's the first step. The second step is realize who does pay for it. And a lot of people look for long-term care insurance or a way to co-insure the risk so that that doesn't fall onto themselves or onto their families, because caregiving is very stressful for families. And I'm always an advocate of looking at different options so you have money to pay for the care. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. I know you kind of lived through this. You dealt with this.
I have. Both my grandparents needed care. One had Alzheimer's, one had a physical impairment of osteoporosis. And one of my grandparents had a small, tiny policy and allowed my grandfather, who cared for my grandmother, to get a break every day, to go out for 4 hours a day and hire a home care aide. And that's the real key I want to really focus on for everybody out there to try to help them. Is too often when people look at this type of insurance, they try to cover everything and it gets very expensive. Look, the best thing is to have a cushion, a safety net, what we call co-insurance. And there are many really good options on the market today that weren't on the market years ago.
Sure. Are there any red flags, like things you shouldn't be doing when planning for long-term care?
Well, again, I think that it's a combination approach. And oftentimes what we see is someone needs this kind of care. All of a sudden, the family gets burdened with it. You have someone who is taking care of their parents, taking care of their kids. It's called the sandwich generation. So I think every person really needs to understand the risk of it, and then they can focus on how to protect it. Again, you know, most people, they self-insure it, meaning if it happens, they have to use all their money. And I've seen this issue wipe people out of their assets completely. And that's what we're trying to avoid.
So when do you recommend people start this process?
Look, the sooner you start planning, the better, because if you are going to get any kind of insurance, and there are many kinds of insurance out there. There's traditional long-term care, there's long-term care and life insurance combined. There's even annuities right now that have long-term care benefits. But the sooner you plan, the more options you have, because you have to take a look at that situation. In fact, Teresa, it really comes down to one thing. Would you like to know what that is?
Absolutely.
I have a little prop here.
Let me see.
It's called cash flow. It really comes down to cash flow. And here's what I mean by that. Think about that. When you're retired, you're living off your money. You're paying your money, your Social Security, your interest off your assets are paying your heat, your electricity, your taxes, your food. All of a sudden you need home care. Those costs don't stop, they continue, but you got to hire a home care aide, and that costs $60,000, $70,000 a year, for example. Where's money going to come from? So you got to have the cash flow to have the money coming in so you can actually stay at home, because the last place of choice is a nursing home.
There you go. All right, Mike, we are hitting the tip of the iceberg here for retirement savings and long-term care. Where can people learn more? I know you do a lot online.
So look, you know, we have a wonderful webinar that we do about long-term care and the options. In fact, I just did a live webinar last night. I am happy to send a recording of this webinar to anybody who wants it. Just need to contact our office. You know, call us at 203-372-4442. Shoot us an email at michael@strategies4retirement.com. But we're happy to send you that recording of our webinar, and that will start the process. And then if you want to look at it further, call my office. I'm happy to talk with anybody.
There you go. And of course, you can learn more over at your website, strategies4retirement.com. Right. Michael, thank you so much for all the info.
Thanks, Teresa. Thank you for having me. See you again soon.
Absolutely.